like the don't know what I'm saying.
What's up, y'all? This update video is not super long overdue, but I could have been more timely in getting this up. But oh god, we'll start off with I've been doing better, so we're starting off with good news. That's great. Let's see. My skin, I mean, like, it's hard to tell in the videos, and honestly, I have not been taking like pictures every week or every day. But I will put some pictures up so you can see more closely what's going on. I'm still like very discolored and itchy, but overall my skin is like smoother. My face is not like flaking off anymore. Even just touching my face right here though, it's like from here to here, it's like, oh, this feels like skin. And then here it's like, oh, there's a little like roughness going on. So, you know, not 100% healed, but I've definitely seen some major improvement. I think the main thing that I've done is I started taking vitamin D, and I was taking CBD oil like internally, but I ran out and I haven't gotten any more, so I need to re-up on that. But all this stuff is expensive. But I've been taking vitamin D, and honestly, I've really gotten super lax with my diet, but I've put a bigger focus on making sure that I do yoga and like breathing exercises every week. The yoga, I've still been like maintaining that. The breathing exercises, I'll be honest, I've fallen off. But I need to hop back on the wagon. But I think that that's just made a big difference with like my stress and the way that I'm handling everything. Honestly, 2019, like the end of 2019 was rough. Like I was really depressed at the end of the year, honestly. And I think because of that, I was like, okay, something has to change. And I was like, okay, do what you can do. Focus on the yoga and the breathing exercises. That's like your only priority. And I also started writing again. I haven't been writing as much just because my energy and everything. But also I think I've just been trying to implement too many changes at the same time, and like developing new habits and getting rid of old bad habits is a process. And I just, whenever I want to make changes, I just want it to happen like overnight. And that's just not how it works. Like it took me like a year to really cut dairy out of my diet, because I kept accidentally eating it or just like slipping up or caving in. And so I think whenever I am too hard on myself, or I'm thinking that I'm taking too long to do something, I like go back to that of like, oh yeah, it took me a year to cut out dairy, and now I don't miss it and I don't want it. So it just takes time to develop new habits. And so when I say I got lax in my diet, I'm still like dairy-free, gluten-free, processed sugar-free. I'm still all of that, but just the extreme diets that I was trying to do, it just wasn't something that I could commit to anymore. And I think because I was depressed, because I had such low energy because of the adrenal fatigue, it was just like, no, this is not gonna happen. And it's not to say that I won't return to it at some point, but again, for right now, my focus has been yoga, breathing. I've also been doing affirmations, not every day, I try, and writing. And so these are things that are lifting my spirit. And also yoga and moving your body, like, you know, it's good for your physical health as well. So that's what I've been doing. What I did not say in the last update is that I completely stopped working out. I was, besides yoga, I, had been trying to go to the gym and work up a sweat. And I did continue doing the sauna for a while when I still had access to it. But working out again was just another thing that was depleting my energy. And again, because of the adrenal fatigue was so bad, I was like, I'm just gonna stop completely, because I don't want to make it worse than it is. And the way that I work out, like I go hard and it's intense. And I know like I wasn't going as hard as I used to since I've been going through this, because I knew my body just couldn't handle it. But it got to a point, there was one time that I went to the gym and like, it was just, my body just felt weak the entire time that I was working out. And also I felt more depleted after working out. So I was like, this isn't something that's going to be helpful for me right now. So I'm going to step away for a while. Now, because I do have more energy and I'm feeling better, I am planning on slowly starting to go back to the gym. I'm not gonna like go hard or go home the first time I go back, but I do plan on working out again and getting in a sweat, you know, multiple times every week, because I do think that that's important for the detox process. But again, it was just something that was not helpful for me. That's the thing about topical steroid withdrawal. It's like everyone has their own healing protocols, and like people are doing different things and different things are working for different people, but you really have to listen to your body. Like I know there are people who go hard for like, you have to get in a sweat every day and you have to work out no matter how much it stings, this, that, and the other. But honestly, do what's right for you. Working out was not right for me, so I had to stop. And sometimes you have to heal different things at different times. Like for me, I had to get my spirit and my mood right before I could do anything else. So again, that's been my focus. Still working on it, but now I can slowly start doing other things. So even though my skin is doing better, I would say there's still like inflammation around like 50% of my body. Like there's discoloration all over my face, my neck, my chest, my arms. I don't have the like, you know, my entire arms were I always get hyper and hypopigmented mixed up. I had lost pigment. I lost color in my arms. But like I pretty much have eczema like all the way up to here, and it's all behind my knees. There's also, I don't know why I didn't talk about this, there's a little spot on my left foot. I never break out on my feet. Never in my life have I broken out on my feet. I'm making sure I'm not lying. From what I remember, I have never broken out on my feet. And so over in, I don't know, August or September, I started getting a patch on my foot and my big toe on my left foot. The toe is healed, but there's still like a patch on the side of my left foot but like really like my whole foot just kind of started peeling, which again, never broken out on my foot before. So now there's just a little patch that still exists there, but it's gotten a little bit better, but still there. And obviously like my hands, there's my lower back, those are the areas that are inflamed. But the reason why I say it's better is because before it kind of just felt like I had a constant like scab. I don't know if that's the right word, but that's the word that I'm gonna go for. Everything was just really, really rough. Now it feels more like skin. It's still not smooth, but it actually feels like, oh, this is skin. This isn't just like a scab all over my body. And same thing with my face. I will say, because my diet I've been more lax with my diet in the past few like weeks or months, maybe I've gone a little too far, and I've noticed like, okay, I'm breaking out a little bit, because like it really got better. And then because I was so lax with my diet, I realized like, oh, I think this is why my skin is responding the way that it is. But I would say the good news is that it's not breaking out the way that it was before when I, you know, slipped up with my diet. So that's progress. So this was on Valentine's Day. I was able to go out without any like flares, and I actually had on makeup. This was the following Monday on a shoot. Again, I'm in makeup here, and this is a few days after without makeup, so you can just kind of see how my skin was doing. You can see like there's still discoloration, but like the flakiness and dryness isn't as extreme, and the skin is like getting a lot stronger. The same goes for on my hands. They don't look that great, but they feel smoother, and again, they're stronger. When I scratch my arms and my wrists, I'm not breaking as much skin. So the skin is definitely getting stronger and healing. It's just been a really, really super long process. This next picture, I actually had a photo shoot and did my makeup, and you can see how it's sitting. And here is one of the shots from the shoot where you can't even tell anything's going on. Here, I actually started flaring probably a week later. So again, some of that dryness is back. And this is, you know, upon waking up and not putting any moisturizer on. So it looked better throughout the day. Also, the backs of my knees and down to my calves are discolored and not as dry as they used to be. This is a tiny spot on my foot. You can't even really see it. I'm also still getting the painful pus-filled cysts. They just pop up in random places, but it's happening less often, and they're smaller than they used to be before. Like before, Like I got one on my forearm one time and I was like, this is taking over my entire arm. Now they're a lot smaller, but still like extremely painful. Right now, I don't have any. Knock on wood. But like a few days ago, I had like 2. So it's a thing that's still happening. Another thing that's different is for a really long time, it kind of seemed like no matter what I put on my skin, it didn't make a difference. It didn't help, and sometimes it made it worse. But it feels like, no, my skin is responding to topical applications of different things now. So like, I never stopped doing the Dead Sea salt baths, but now when I do them, like as soon as I get out of the bath, I can feel a difference. My skin feels better. It's like my skin is soaking up all of it and like using it as fuel or something. So I keep doing, I do them multiple times a week. I put in Dead Sea salt, like a spoonful of coconut oil and tea tree oil and lavender oil, which are all antimicrobial, helping to kill off any bacteria that's like living on my skin. I've also just continued to use straight shea butter. What else do I use? Oh, Frank's coffee scrub. I've been using that again. I would say if you want to use Frank's coffee scrub, really be careful. There was a long time that I wasn't using it because my skin was too inflamed, and doing a scrub is just going to make you feel like you're burning and on fire and rubbing your skin off. But now, because my skin is stronger, I'm in a place where I can actually use it, and it makes my skin feel like so much softer afterwards, and like I can visibly see a difference and feel a difference when I touch my skin. Another thing I did for the first time in a really long time yesterday was a face mask with bentonite clay and apple cider vinegar. And you have to be careful with that too, because it can be really drying, but it pulls like the impurities out of your face. And again, I did it, and like afterwards I could see a difference. Like there was less texture on my skin, and like everything just felt better. So I also started using hyaluronic acid. I hope I pronounced that right. But I think I saw that some other, TSW warriors were using it online. And also last year I did a shoot, and the makeup artist used it on me. Actually, 2 separate shoots, the 2 separate shoots and 2 separate makeup artists used it because they said it's like super hydrating and really good for dry skin. So I was like, let me try this out. I initially got it to use just to use when I have to wear makeup, but I've been putting it on every day. I'll be honest, I haven't really noticed that much of a difference with using it, but I have it, so I just keep using it. I haven't noticed like any bad reaction, so I just keep using it. Another thing that's really helpful with the Dead Sea salt baths is sometimes if you're going through TSW or you have eczema, maybe you can relate to this, but sometimes I literally just feel like gross in my skin. And it's not that like I'm dirty, but I feel dirty. And it's like I think it's like the combination of feeling itchy and just inflamed. It's like, ew, I just literally want to peel my skin off and like take it to the dry cleaners or something. So that's another reason why I continue to do the baths every week, because sometimes it's just like it's the only thing that makes me feel more comfortable in my skin. So like I said, I have more energy right now. Sometimes I sleep better, sometimes I don't. Honestly, I will be honest, I can do better with my sleep hygiene. I don't have like a bedtime routine. And again, that's something in building new and like healthier habits. That's something that I do want to do at some point. But right now I'm like, just focus on the yoga and the breathing and writing. Baby steps. But I think that I could do better at winding down before I go to bed so that I can sleep better. But again, sometimes it's just like 2 nights ago, I fell asleep around like 11 or something, woke up at 2 a.m., could not go back to sleep until 7:30 a.m., and I had to get up at 8:30. So sometimes that's just what happens. And I will say the good thing is that before, that used to happen a lot over the summer and the fall. Like I just wouldn't sleep and wouldn't fall asleep until like 8 a.m. But yeah, the good thing about now is that when that happens, I don't and I have to like do something during the day, I don't feel dead. I don't feel like a zombie. I actually still have from somewhere, I'm pulling energy from somewhere. But when that does happen, I'm very mindful of it. And I'm like, okay, I may have to do these things, but after that, I need to go home and get some rest. Because I know that even though my body's doing better, I don't want to push it too much and end up where I was. And I think that's kind of been a big lesson during this whole process. I talked about this before, but just accepting that I am not capable right now of doing as much as I used to be able to do, and allowing myself to rest. So even though I have more energy, what I'm learning is like, okay, if I have a few days back to back where I'm doing a lot of stuff, then I need to have a day that's just to myself so I can recharge. And I'm still, at this point, I'm not working full time or anything. I'm kind of in a weird space because I do theater. I'm a theater actor. And so when you're in theater, you know, my normal schedule is like in rehearsal 10 to 6 for like 4 weeks, and then doing a show for 4 more weeks. So, you know, my evenings and my weekends are busy. And that's just my schedule. But because all of this has been happening, I haven't been auditioning. So I'm kind of just like, you know, figuring things out. I've started doing different things to like make money. And I started auditioning again with, I'm with an agent. So I started auditioning again for like voiceover and film work. And I've been able to do some of that and do like my side hustles to make money. But it's just kind of been, and it's been good for me because I think that rigorous theater schedule is not something that I want to sign up for yet, just because I'm still learning what I need to be energized and still getting into a pattern of being healthy. That was a really weird way to word it. But basically what I'm trying to say is that I am not 100% yet. Even though I'm feeling like so much better, I also recognize that I'm not back at my normal functioning level. And I'm very mindful of not pushing myself too much so that I don't end up back where I was a few months ago, and where, you know, honestly, I've continued to end up like throughout my life. I said it before and I'll say it again. This is the last time I'm going through topical steroid withdrawal. So I'm really giving myself the time that I need to heal. And even though, you know, it's been expensive, it's been frustrating, it's been a journey, my God, it's necessary. And I've been learning a lot about myself and what I need to be healthy. So yeah. But anyways, if you're going through topical steroid withdrawal, I really encourage you to like really listen to your body. There's a lot of information on the internet from doctors, you know, dermatologists, naturopaths, just all over. But at the end of the day, only you know how you feel and what you need to be better. I mean, of course, take wisdom from people who are going through it, who know what they're talking about. But I feel like during this entire process, I've been misled so many times. And it wasn't until I just really tuned in to what I need and like listening to my body, that's when I really started to see healing. So I hope that you can do that for yourself. And yeah, stay, you know, keep the faith. Oh, keep the faith, because there are days when it feels like you're never gonna heal, but you will. So anyways, yeah, I can't believe it's been 11 months. I've almost been going through this for a year again. This is insane, but I'm feeling better and I'm going to continue to feel better. And I hope the same for you. And yeah, I'll do another update soon. Ew, I did that. I did. All right, bye.
Happy New Year. This gonna be the time when they say, oh my God, who that right there? Same when you pass back when I had none.